How can you sleep 8 hours and still wake up feeling like you never slept at all? A full night's rest should have you waking up refreshed and ready to take on the day. So it is frustrating when the opposite happens. In this video, I'll explain why enough hours do not always mean restorative sleep, how sleep fragmentation and circadian timing can leave you tired anyway, and what science says actually helps. Maybe you got 7.5 hours, maybe 8, maybe even more, but when the alarm goes off, your body still feels heavy, your mind feels slow, and the first part of the day feels like pushing through fog. That gap between I was asleep for a long time and I feel restored is exactly where this topic lives. And it matters because sleep science shows that fatigue and sleepiness are not the same thing. People with sleep disorders can experience both, but they are not identical consequences of bad sleep. So the real question is not just, did I sleep long enough? It is also, was that sleep actually doing the job of restoration? A useful place to start is realizing that sleep quality is not the same thing as sleep duration. In a study comparing people with insomnia and normal sleepers, both groups described sleep quality using things like tiredness on waking, feeling restored, and the number of awakenings during the night. In other words, people often experience sleep quality based on how restored they feel and not just how long they slept. That is why two people can both sleep 8 hours and wake up very differently. One person may have slept continuously and deeply enough to feel restored. Another may have slept for the same amount of time but with frequent micro awakenings, lighter sleep, or a timing mismatch that left them unrefreshed. Sleep fragmentation is one of the biggest reasons this happens. In one experimental study, sleep was disrupted by brief arousals without shortening total sleep time, and the result was reduced daytime alertness the next day. So you can spend enough time asleep and still not get the continuity that makes sleep feel restorative. Then there is sleep inertia, which is the groggy, slowed down state you experience right after waking. A major study found that sleep inertia can happen even after a normal 8-hour night, and that it is often worse when awakening occurs from slow wave sleep or near the low point of the body's circadian rhythm. In simple terms, the moment you wake up matters, not just the number of hours you logged. Circadian timing matters too. The thing is, your brain is not a stopwatch that simply logs the hours of sleep you get. Instead, it responds and works with a biological rhythm. A 2023 study found that chronotype dependent sleep loss was associated with a lower stability of circadian rhythm and more REM fragmentation, which may help explain why the same number of hours can feel different when sleep timing is misaligned with your internal clock. Slow wave sleep, often called deep sleep, also plays a role. Research describes slow wave sleep as a marker of sleep homeostasis, and one study concluded that it seems to offer a form of cerebral recovery. In one randomized trial, boosting slow wave sleep reduced some behavioral and physiological effects of sleep loss. So if sleep is fragmented or shallow, you may get the hours without getting enough of the restoration. If all of that sounds too complicated, the short and simple version is this: sleep duration matters, but continuity, timing, and depth matter too. A full night of sleep can still leave you tired if it was fragmented, misaligned with your circadian rhythm, or not restorative enough. With that in mind, what we need to focus on is how to get more restorative sleep. instead of just focusing on hitting a magic number of hours for sleeping. Here are a few science-backed ways to do that. First, protect regularity. A systematic review of adult sleep timing and consistency found that earlier sleep timing and more regular bed and wake times were generally associated with better health. To put it simply, your body likes predictability, and the sleep system is no exception. Once you have a routine in place, protect it as much as you can. Second, treat sleep continuity as a real target. If you spend a lot of time awake in bed, or your sleep is repeatedly interrupted, that can reduce daytime alertness, even if total time in bed looks fine. That is one reason why cognitive behavioral treatment for insomnia, or CBTI, uses tools like stimulus control and sleep restriction to rebuild a stronger sleep-wake connection. Third, do not panic if the first part of your morning is slow. If the first 20 to 30 minutes after waking are the worst, that can be sleep inertia rather than a sign that you slept badly. The grogginess usually fades as arousal rises, but it is more noticeable when you wake from deeper sleep or at an unfavorable circadian time. Just pay attention to your body more closely in that first half hour of waking up so you get a definitive answer. Fourth, if this happens often, look at the pattern, not just the night. Studies on sleep are pretty consistent in pointing to the same idea. Sleep quality is shaped by awakenings, fragmentation, timing, and recovery, not only by duration. That is why a short night and a long but broken night can both leave you tired in different ways. A sleep journal will help you track if a pattern emerges. And finally, if waking tired is frequent and affects your day substantially, get support. CBTI is the widely recommended first-line treatment for chronic insomnia, and it directly targets the thoughts and behaviors that keep unrefreshing sleep going. If waking tired is frequent, a sleep professional can also help rule out sleep disorders that make sleep look long on paper but feel unrefreshing in real life. When you wake up tired even after sleeping, remember that that does not mean your body is broken. Remind yourself that sleep duration was only part of the story. Your sleep may have been fragmented, mistimed, too shallow, or interrupted by sleep inertia on the way up. The good news is that sleep quality can improve. And when insomnia is the issue, there are evidence-backed solutions that are effective for treatment. If this helped you understand your mind a little better, consider liking the video. It helps more people discover calm science. And if you enjoy calm, science-based explanations like this, subscribe for more. I'd also love to hear from you. Does your tiredness feel worst right after waking, or does it hang around all day? And if you want to keep learning, check out the next video on your screen. Until then, be kind with your mind.